Hi, Terry here, and time for another afternoon quickie. On the subject of making and testing black powder, which I've got another test video coming up soon, the question occurred to me that no matter how you press and grind, if you use the Corning method, pressing and grinding, you don't rub it through a screen, but if you press it into little pucks like this, and then you grind it, along with your 3F, 2F, a little 4F, maybe a little 1F, you're also going to get some 5F and finer like this powder left over, right? It's a little too fine to use in any kind of firearm. It's a little too fine even to use in a flintlock flash pan. So what do you do with it? Well, do not throw it away because it is perfectly good black powder. Well, for one, you can use it for making firecrackers with if you live in an area where you're allowed to do that. You want to make sure that your little firecracker is not interpreted by the law where you live as an improvised explosive device. If you're into model rocketry, you can also use it for making model rocket motors with, or you can just save it and add it in with your next batch of black powder. Or like I did recently, you can save up enough to just put it back in a ball mill for another 12 to 24 hours, powder it all up again, and then repress it and regrind it, which is where this puck came from. Out of the last 3 pounds of black powder that I made, I ended up with about 200 grams of powder, just too fine to use for anything. Now, that's not really bad. That's a little under a half a pound out of 3 pounds. So I got 2.5 pounds of really good burnable powder that I'm in the process of testing now. But what to do with that half a pound of basically useless because I don't do my own fireworks or model rockets? Well, what I did with it was I put it back in the ball mill. I weighed out, powdered it up. Then I weighed it out into 20 gram batches like this. I ended up making 10 pucks like this. Put them back in the dehydrator for 24 hours, ground them back up and sorted them out again into 4, 3, 2, and a little 1F. Here's how it burns. So out of that something like 200 grams, I got another small amount of powder here. As you can see, it's not much, but it's really fine powdered. I got, let me set that down. And then I've got mostly 3F and some 2F. I'm sorry, this is a 3F here. I got these backwards. 3F and 2F. So what I can say is, in the reuse, after milling it back up into a powder, mix a little water with it and repress it into those pucks. It ground up a little differently, I have to say. The only way I can describe it is it wasn't quite as crunchy as it was the first time around. It seemed like it was more soft when it went through the grinder, and it almost seemed like it was still wet, although you just saw it burns really well, so it's not wet. But that's how it ground. It was almost like it was trying to clog the grinder up. I had to really kind of manually almost force it through, although I did get it through. And I actually ended up with more usable 3F, and then almost as much, but a little bit less 2F. And then again, very, very little 4F and finer powder, like right here, which I'll save and reuse it again when I grind this puck up, probably. So, reused, reclaimed, you could say 3F, reclaimed 2F. Not bad. This is all shootable quality black powder. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out as one of my afternoon quickies to anybody who might be new to making their own black powder for use in antique muzzle loading firearms, and was maybe kind of wondering, what do we do with that leftover powder that we can't do anything with? Thanks for watching, and see you next time.